So I gotta ask you, right, since we got you here, most people they know about, Tupac. He was born in New York, he lived in Baltimore, Marin City, and LA. Let the people know about Tupac history in Atlanta, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is just based on my experience of Tupac in Atlanta. So when I came to Atlanta in 1991, August 1991. I was just released from prison. And the reason why I came to Atlanta was because my family was already here. And the reason why my family was already here was because Tupac was here. His mother was here. His mother and my mother are very, very close. So when his mother moved here, my mom moved here. She uprooted from New York and moved her family here. When I came out of prison, they already had a ticket waiting for me to come down here. So when I got here, Tupac wasn't in Atlanta when I got here. He was touring in California. He was doing his thing. So when I got here in August, I hadn't seen Tupac until October in Atlanta of that year, August 1991. I hadn't seen him until October of that year, right? So when I saw him, the first time I saw him was at Clark University. I met him when he came to Clark University to do a show for homecoming weekend. And I talked about this in an episode where that's the night when he shot the cops, right? So that's my first time seeing Tupac in Atlanta. And that was my first experience with Tupac in Atlanta.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Damn.
My first experience with Pac in Atlanta is watching him shoot the police.
Oh my God.
I watched him shoot 2 white police in the middle of the night in Atlanta and act like nothing happened. So that was my first experience with Pac in Atlanta. So from that point on, I started hanging with Pac more often in Atlanta, almost every day. We would hit up clubs, and Too Short was here. And Pac and Short was cool. Too Short was already here. He had already relocated here. He was one of the first people here that Tupac knew from the West Side, right? So Pac and Short will hook up a lot. But what that brought was Greg, because Greg was working with Short at the time and with Erick Sherman, Keith Murray, all the names that he mentioned previously. So Tupac's connection to Atlanta, the question that you asked, runs very, very deep. But it really all started from that era, 1991, starting with Too Short. When Pac found out that Short was here, that's when
Freaknik.
Yeah, the Freaknik, hooking up with Greg, hooking up with the Rim Shop. He did all of Pac's cars at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the nightlife of Atlanta. That's how we got into the Atlanta mix. You dig? Like, we got into the mix in Atlanta because we had him and
MC Breed, Short, me, and Andre Rison. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And Breed a little bit because Breed was here too.
Gotta get yours, gotta get mine.
Breed was here too.
Me and Breed called the Rim Shop, was like, let's trade friends, G. I'm like, what? He was like, give me Redman, give me Erick Sherman. I'm gonna give you Too Short and Tupac. I love them niggas. I was like, cool, let's swap them out. So I went to meet Tupac over at Andre Rison's house with MC Breed where they were shooting the Gotta Get Yours, Gotta Get Mine video. And they was out there smoking. That house was the baddest house I'd ever seen. White mink carpet. Andre Rison was rich, right? And he had the marble swimming pool. We out there swimming, girls everywhere. And Left Eye came in and she had said, because she was dating Erick Sherman at the time, because they was doing illegal. And she told Erick, when Tupac get here, I'm leaving your ass. And Tupac came and she sure left him. And she came in, but she was going with Andre Rison.
Yeah.
And she came into the house, and I was meeting Pac for the first time. And then he spent money with him. He said I spent a lot of money with you.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to meet him. Now I'm really happy to meet him because he cashing me out like 4 cars. Mm-hmm. And we could smell something on fire. It was like, wait a minute, that's not weed. It was like, man, this house on fire. So we went out there, and she had set like his gym shoes on fire in the garage. So we had walked past that, got in the car, and went down to the Rim Shop. Mm-hmm. By the time we got down to the Rim Shop, he sent like the first car down there. By the time we got down there, Rison's house had burnt all the way down to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it on the news like everybody else. I wasn't with Pac that day. I saw it on the news, but I didn't. This is the first time I heard that part of the story because Greg was actually there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that video was incredible.
So
it was special Atlanta. Atlanta was special right then because really, Atlanta didn't have no artists out yet.
Right, but that video was shot before I came to Atlanta. That video was shot because when I came to Atlanta, was it? That video was
Gotta
shot
Get Yours,
91?
Gotta Get One. Yeah, 91.
So I was here.
Was that 91 for Gotta Get Yours Mine? With Tupac and MC Breed?
I think it was 90 because I saw the video in New York.
Right.
I was like, man, he just hit.
No, it was 91.
Because in that video, that's the first time Pac revealed I lit a thug life. He revealed his thug life tat.
No, but I didn't get that rim shop open till 91. So it had to be 91.
No, I think hold on, let me see.
What did it say? It had to be 91 because 90, I came down here in 90. 93.
93?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 93.
So it was 93.
So the year that he shot the cops was 90. It can't be 90. Yeah, it was 93.
Freaknik 93 was the best.
It wasn't 91. My fault. It was 93.
93
was the year that happened. Yeah, it was 93. Yeah, I always get those years mixed up.
Yeah.
But it was 93. 91 was the year I got here. And did I see Pac? No, I didn't see Pac. And yeah, I must have got here in 93 because that was the first time I saw Pac in Atlanta, the night he shot the cop. So
for real?
Yeah, man.
So what day did I meet you, Bill?
I don't know what day it was. I knew it was 93.
When you brought
because you
brought the cars to me or when you picked them up?
No, when I met you bringing the cars to you.
Right.
Right?
You and G.
Me and G. We was living in Latonia at the time. And me and G would bring his cars down, and that's how I met you. But also, I knew you was from Detroit at that time, too.
Detroit player.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know the craziest thing out of this? So him bringing me the cars to work on Tupac, that we established a relationship, a friendship. It turned out that we used to play together when we was little kids.
We was kids.
In Detroit.
In the D. Yeah, years ago. In the early 70s.
Yeah. Ardmore the block in the Bronx.
Ardmore and Puritan. Yo, look. So my word is born, like, he a real live Detroiter, man. Dig. Like in the era when
Puritan Avenue.
In the era when we grew up in Detroit, it was gangster. Right? In the early 70s, right? And I used to go visit my aunt. He lives on the block that my aunt, so he raised up with my cousins and them.
Prune Gaddy.
All the Gaddys.
The Gaddys. The Gaddy family. And look, they look just like Pac. It's like a whole family of apocalypses up there. Detroit guys. You know, they got the big hook. You can tell from the hook on the head, they got the hook. I'm like, damn.
My word is born. Every time I think about it, I laugh at this dude because we got roots together, like seriously.
So after Tupac died, we drove up to Detroit together, and I took the Outlaws up there.
And we went to the old hood. We went to Teresa's.
Yeah, we went to Teresa's on 6 Mile. Took the Outlaws into Munch spot. Munch had the Platinum 21.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they didn't believe it. They was like, ain't no way in the world you got the Outlaws. Which I said, man, you ain't gonna believe it. These dudes come from our hood. Yeah. It was like, nah, there's no way. And we went up there and showed out, man. Thank you.
We got this. We connected.